Let's make pancetta. First thing we're going to need is a plastic food service grade tub or a stainless steel bowl, or basically something that's large enough for the piece of meat that you're dealing with. You also need your grade A heritage breed fresh pork belly. You don't want to use frozen. Frozen is going to yield more water and it's going to be a little bit drier and a little bit weirder. I've also had frozen cured things go bad on me when they've turned out totally fine with fresh stuff. And really the fresher the better. We're just going to put that in there. The other thing that we're going to need is our cure. This is the same cure that we use for the guanciale. Unlike the bacon cure, it is mostly salt. So we're going to have to apply it a little bit differently. And the other thing that we're going to need is a couple latex or vinyl gloves. And that's just to keep the cure on the meat and not under your fingernails. Okay, so we're going to take a nice big pinch of the curing salt and just sort of sprinkle it as evenly as possible. You can apply it from really high up and then just sort of shake it off. And it'll have applied itself rather evenly. I usually give it a flip and kind of use it to blot the cure onto it so that you end up with it very evenly distributed. This cure is mostly salt, so you don't want to put too much on or you're going to end up with a real salty end product, which is not the end of the world. You can just slice it thinner and use it a little bit more sparingly. Now, when you apply your cure to the fat side of the belly, you might want to apply a little bit more, and that's simply because the meat side, because it's, part of the reason why it's nice and red is because it has all these muscles that are made of fibers and capillaries and blood vessels and all these things that help transport that salt deep into the meat. On the fat side, the fat is really a barrier. It's much more densely packed, less porous than the meat side. And so what you're going to want to do is probably put just a little bit more cure on the back side than you do on the front. Okay, now we have it all very evenly coated all over. Check to see that the edges are nice and coated. Sort of blot it around. This is not a delicate activity. Feel free to be as physical as possible. Okay, so this is the pork belly with our pancetta and guanciale cure. This is pancetta in the raw here, just with the cure applied to it. Or you can put this in a plastic or a wooden container or wrapped in plastic wrap and then place it at the bottom of your refrigerator. Just make sure that it's covered so other things can't fall into it. In about 2 weeks, this will be ready to hang, and in about 5 to 8 weeks, it'll be ready to eat.